Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV. Today, the third day in the month of August 2022. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Buhari called for more international collaborations to tackle insecurity. Buhari under pressure to hand over to Shettima, Tinubu skinned out, primate Ayodele. Gunmen attack, injure AIG, kill orderly. Shribajo warns military police to be cautious of bandits. Protest over insecurity. IGP deploys additional manpower, assets. Terrorist attack. Work on alleged invasion of Southwest Forest. Monarch charges governors. Released train attack victim narrates audio, begs government to take terrorists serious. Gunmen kill abducted hotelier, Lautech students order after collecting money in Ogbomoso. Traffic infractions, Arise TV anchor apologizes. And in foreign story, UK licenses 266 Nigerian doctors in 2 months. Birmingham 2022, Chioma Onyekwere makes history in Commonwealth discourse. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari Tuesday in Abuja commended collective efforts of nations towards tackling insecurity challenges across the globe and within Nigeria, urging more collaboration to check terrorism, banditry, and insurgency. Receiving letters of credence of Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador James Kingston Christophe, and Ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria, Juan Alfred Miranda Ortiz, President Buhari told the diplomat that successes in taming insecurity have been recorded through collaboration across borders and more could be achieved. The devastating effect of global insecurity, climate change, and the post-COVID-19 era has devastated global economies. Nations continue to struggle to recover from the multiple global challenges. The ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine has undermined the progress countries have achieved in tackling food security in the last decade, while the political instability in Libya continues to fuel terrorism in the Sahel, as well as cultural democratic sustenance in both West and Central African regions. Nigeria is not left out of the equation as we are fighting to aid and rid our country of banditry, kidnapping, farmer crisis, and insurgency. We are, however, making meaningful progress with the support of friendly countries like yours to sustain this fight until we overcome these challenges, he said. At the regional level, President Buhari said Nigeria had been working with other member states of ECOWAS and other regional blocs to deal with the problems of terrorism, trans-border crimes, maritime crimes such as piracy and illegal fishing on our waters, illicit drug and human trafficking, banditry, as well as unconstitutional changes of government. A video shortly.
Is not left out of the equation as we are fighting to rid our country of banditry, kidnapping, harder farmer crisis, and insurgency. We are, however, making meaningful progress with the support of friendly countries like yours to sustain these fights until we overcome these challenges.
The leader of INRI Evangelical Spiritual Church, Primate Elijah Ayodele, has made a shocking revelation concerning the 2023 presidential election. In a statement signed by his media aide, Osho Oluwatosin, Primate Ayodele revealed that President Buhari is under pressure to hand over to Kashim Shettima by the Northern Elders and that the presidential candidate of the ruling party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, isn't in the agenda. It revealed that the Northern Elders want to ensure a Kanuri man becomes the next president of Nigeria, not a Fulani person, and that is why they planted Kashim Shettima in the ticket. Primate Ayodele, however, warned President Buhari not to meddle into the affairs of whoever succeeds him, and that he should shut down the plans of the Northern Elders because it will lead Nigeria to serious bloodbath, serious protest, and anarchy. President Buhari is under pressure not to hand over to Atiku, Peter Obi, and Tinubu. Shettima is a game plan of the Northerners, not Tinubu, and every avenue to install Shettima will cause serious bloodbath in Nigeria and serious protest and anarchy. The president is under pressure to hand over to a Kanuri man. The Northern Elders don't want Fulani. They want Kanuri, and that is why they planted Kashim Shettima. They want to ensure APC wins the election, and if that happens, Nigeria will sink. To insecurity story, suspected terrorists have attacked the convoy of the Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 12 with headquarters in Bauchi, Audu Madaki, injuring him and killing one of his police guards. Although the reports are all sketchy, as at the time of filing this report, it was learned that the AIG was on his way to Abuja from Bauchi when his suspected terrorists ambushed and attacked him. The incident was said to have happened between Barde and Jagindi area in Kaduna State on Tuesday at about 2:30 p.m. A source to the Zone 12 headquarters told our correspondent that AIG Audu Madaki was shot at and injured during the attack while his orderly was shot dead. The AIG is said to be receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital while security has been beefed up around the zone. Another source revealed that armed police personnel had been drafted to the area called the Bush in order to fish out the terrorists. Several efforts to get a confirmation from the zonal police public relations officer, Thomas Goni, were futile as he didn't pick up his call. He did not also return the calls as of the time of filing this report. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has urged Nigeria's military and other security forces to be more creative in combating the country's bandits and terrorists, challenging course 30 participants at the National Defense College, NDC, to be creative in developing national security and defense strategies to combat worsening insecurity. Mr. Osinbajo made the call at the college's 30th anniversary and course 30 graduation dinner and award on Tuesday in Abuja. He was represented by the Special Advisor to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, on economic matter, Adeyemi Dikpeolu. The Vice President noted that security was a societal responsibility that could only be achieved in unison with a diverse range of state and civil society actors. He urged the military and other security agencies to recognize the regional, continental, and international ramifications of the threat facing nations in developing security and defense strategies. He added, technological revolution in the present era also avails you of a broad range of tools with which you can protect our vital interests and safeguard our people. You must be relentlessly innovative in exploiting these options, he concluded. Still on insecurity in the country, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has allayed the fears of residents in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and its environs concerning the recent perceived security threat, as he ordered massive deployment of additional police operatives and operational assets within the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and its environs. Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Muyiwa Dejobi, while making this known, stated that the deployment is to solidify the security and protection of lives and property of FCT residents, critical national assets and vulnerable facilities, as well as road users flying routes in and around the FCT. The IGP made the charge during the Force Management Team's meeting at his office on Monday, August 4, 2022, while receiving general security updates on the nation. He has equally charged the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Department of Operations, DIG Bala Zama Zenchi, to supervise and manage the deployment to ensure maximum security in the FCT, as well as surrounding states with a high risk of attacks resonating from the threat being speculated on the news, as the force does not and will never handle any information with kid gloves. From that, we go straight to another insecurity case. The Olu of Lisa Kingdom, Oba Najimdeen Odubemi, has called on Southwest governors to work immediately on information given by the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yorùbá land, Ìbà Gani Adams, that suspected terrorists have taken over forests in Ogun, Ọ̀ṣun, and other parts of the region. He gave the charge today while reacting to the news report of suspected Boko Haram commander arrested by the operative of the Department of State Services, DSS, in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The Monarch said it was time they nipped the planned attacks by the terrorists in southwest in the bud. Oba Odubemi, who is also the Grand Patron of Ogun NUJ, on various state governments to step up their security architecture in the southwest states, aimed at protecting lives and property of the common man against the insecurity occasioned by these terrorists. In the same vein, he called on media practitioners in the country to always do more of investigative reporting of an event rather than just mere news reporting in the interest of the society. The Monarch noted that Media practitioners should see their profession as not only reporting outcome of an incident alone, but dig into such incident to a logical conclusion so that it will not be swept under the carpet for the betterment of the country. In case you're just joining, you are watching the world news from BGI TV. And more to come. Professor Mustafa Umar Imam, one of the 5 victims recently released by the attackers of the Kaduna-Abuja train, has narrated his ordeal in the hands of his kidnappers. He said those who attacked and abducted them on the 28th of March 2022 are well organized and have their informants all over the country. Speaking on Wednesday morning in a video broadcast by Arise TV, the victim explained that the terrorists took time to plan the attack, launched it, and successfully carried out their operation. Professor Mustafa Umar Imam said the abductors talked about classified information concerning the country, confirming that there are moles working for their success across the country. He said about 2 weeks ago, the victims were given 10,000 naira allowances each by the terrorists, explaining that it was meant to get them supplies while they are in captivity, which another terrorist would go to get for them in the city. The university don explained they gave us 10,000 naira each for us to get things like soft drinks and milk, beverages, bread, and other supplies. This happened in the last 2 weeks. In terms of how organized they are, I advise the government to take them very seriously because these people are highly organized. He said that terrorists have spies planted across the country and that information comes from those spies. Professor Imam explained that he heard them talk openly about attacks they wanted to carry out and that some of those attacks actually come through.
Something happened very recently which got me very confused because for some reason they decided to give everybody on camp 10,000 naira to be able to purchase whatever we needed. Now, because they do sell things, I believe, from their houses, so we could send the security guards to get whatever we needed, things like soft drinks, milk, beverages, bread, and other supplies. But then this happened in the last 2 weeks, and
paint a picture as well about how this.
Continuation of the world news, Mr. Olubenga Owolabi, proprietor of Tana Suits of Gomosho, Rachel Okwadele, a staff of the student of Laudotech at Kintola University of Technology of Gomosho, who were abducted last week, have been killed by the kidnappers. Also, the Okada rider who conveyed a family member to the designated area for the money payment was also killed, while his passenger was injured. The victims were kidnapped in Aba community last week, and the abductors demanded 100 million naira. The police had said 8 suspects have been arrested in connection with the kidnapping of Dr. Abdurrashid Oladuye and Alawa Kala's farm manager. A family source hinted that after negotiation, the family arranged 5 million naira, which was taken to the bandit on Tuesday and confirmed by them, after which the victims were shot. The person who conveyed the money to them was also shot, but he was lucky to escape. It was also gathered that the police have deposited the corpse at the morgue, while the person who sustained injury is receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital. A resident of Aba community told our reporter that residents are already protesting against the insecurity and blocked major road leading to the place. The police public relations officer in Oyo State, Adewale Oshifeso, when contacted, promised to confirm and get back to us for more details. From that story, we'll go to a traffic infraction. Arise TV anchor Rufai Oseni has tendered an apology for violating the traffic law and hurling insult at the police. On the television's morning show on Wednesday, he said he was sorry for being in the news for the wrong reason. Good morning, viewers. As many of you know, in the last 2 days, I've been in the news for the public and for all my colleagues here on Arise News Channel, he said. I would therefore like to apologize to all parties over what transpired during the incident with the police when I was stopped for driving on a bus lane. I cannot and dare not lay claims to knowing it all. Lessons have been learned from this entire episode, and this has been a most humbling experience for me. I would also like to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to all those who have reached out to me in the last 2 days for their guardians and counseling. The broadcaster was found guilty of violating the traffic law in Lagos State on Tuesday. In a tweet, the spokesperson in the state, Benjamin Udeni, said that the broadcaster was fined 70,000 naira. Mr. Rufai Hussaini was in court earlier today. He was found guilty of contravening Lagos State Transport Law 2018. He wrote. He was subsequently fined 70,000 naira. Only he made the payment, after which his vehicle was released to him.
And I must have to read out a personal message I did write and I penned down. As many of you know, in the last 2 days, I've been in the news for the wrong reasons. This has resulted in needless distractions for my friends, family, members of the public, and all my colleagues here on Arise News. I'd like to apologize to all parties over what transpired during the incident with the police when I was stopped for driving on a bus lane. I cannot and dare not lay claims to know it all. Lessons have been learned from this entire episode, and this has been a very humbling experience for me. I'd like to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to all those who have reached out to me in the last 2 days for their guidance and counseling. Thank you, everyone.
Foreign story is the next. The General Medical Council, which licenses and maintains the official register of medical practitioners in the United Kingdom, licensed at least 266 Nigerian doctors in June and July 2022, the Punch has learned. The implication is that at least 3 Nigerian doctors were licensed per day in June and July 2022, despite the moves by the federal government to stop the exodus of doctors and health workers in the country amidst worsening brain drain of the professionals in the country. Correspondent who has continued to monitor the GMC register noticed that the number of Nigerian trained doctors in the UK currently stands at 9,976. The figure does not include other doctors of Nigerian origin who did not undergo medical training in Nigeria. Presently, Nigeria has the 3rd highest number of foreign doctors working in the UK after India and Pakistan. The country, however, suffers a shortage of doctors. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria noted that Nigeria now has over 100,000 doctors who have registered with the council. Worryingly, Nigeria, with a population of over 200 million citizens, indicates the percentage of ratio of doctors to patients still falls below the World Health Organization's recommendation of 1,600. Finally, on the world news is a sports story. Chioma Onyekwere, the current African champion in discus, has set a new record at the ongoing Birmingham 2022. The Nigerian emerged as the 4th Nigerian woman to win the Commonwealth in the discus throw event. Onyekwere, 28, threw 61.70 meters in her 4th attempt to take the lead from the home girl, Jed Lely, who led from the start of the competition with her opening throws of 57.33 meters. The Nigerian, who opened with 55.82 meters, knew she needed more than the 58.19 meters she threw to win the African Championship gold last June in Mauritius. Her effort did not yield a positive result in the second round, with a throw of 56.42 meters, while she fouled in the 3rd attempt. Surprisingly, she swung the discus to a personal season's best mark of 61.70 meters, her second best career mark after the 63.30 meters personal best, which she threw last year at the CVEATC Chula Vista in California, USA, thereby emerging as the winner. By virtue of this achievement, Onyekwere has become the 2nd Nigerian after Adewale Olukoji to win the discus throw title for Nigeria in the history of the championships. That concludes the world news. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari calls for more international collaborations to tackle insecurity. 2023, Buhari under pressure to hand over to Shettima, Tinubu schemed out, Primate Ayodele. Gunmen attack, injure AIG, kill orderly. We're also brought to you from the Vice President of Shimbajo Wall's military, police to be cautious of bandits. And we're also brought to you from the attacking scene, terrorist attack, work on alleged invasion of Southwest Forest, Monarch charges Southwest governors. And finally, sport, Birmingham 2022. Chioma Onyekere makes history in Commonwealth discourse. For more updates on YouTube, our channel and handle is Babagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagide Imo _22. For advertisement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advertisement. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you are one in a million.